What's up, guys and gals? I know it's been more than a hot minute since we've last talked about this series, but now we are playing catch-up time. I have my schedule here. I have my list of uncompleted and incomplete projects here on YouTube, and we're going to catch up on everything. That's right, you heard that right, everything, I took my lull month, I took my 3 weeks, and I did the bare minimum amount of content, but now we are back to catch up to Record of Ragnarok. I've only really been spoiled on one thing in the sort of the semi-latest chapters, and it's simply which contender is fighting next. I know who one of the fighters in the next round is. That's all I've been spoiled on, so let's just jump in here. Chapter 93. I was going to do this as a stream, but honestly, I don't have enough time, realistically, to devote, a few hours in a row to just reading Record of Ragnarok, plus the chat and stuff. I do miss doing streams. Might get back to doing Record of Ragnarok streams once we're all caught up, but for right now, definitely don't have time for read-through streams, to that level, and we are almost a full 10 chapters behind, so here we are getting caught up. Now, chapter 93. I really like this chapter, okay? So none of these are going to be reactions. They're all going to be reviews as of this point, because we sort of have to streamline these and get them on point. Now, I will say the aura farming and the choreography between Okita and Susanoo is fucking on point in this chapter. I'm just saying it. Like, a lot of people have not liked a lot of the latest rounds. I haven't been the biggest fan of some of those rounds, as you guys full well know. But this round, honestly, people are upset. Japanese versus Japanese and stuff like that. But it's such a good pairing of sword versus sword, and it works. This fight really does work. I did not intend to drop it. It's just that things did get in my way, but I think that this chapter did a really good job, especially on the character of Okita, the demon child, all these ideals between them, you have, and you even have in the crowd, you have Bach, you have Michelangelo, you have these people going like, oh my god, such artistic, so beautiful, so exquisite, and all these things, right? And they're right, because he's burning bright with this blue flame of aura of just complete swordsmanship right now, right? So, we recognize that this is one of course, the Valkyrie sisters, the sixth sister. She is allowing him to utilize, similar to, from what I understand, how Hunter x Hunter worked, in the sense of adult Gon, basically taking all his latent potential and sacrificing all that potential and putting it into this one moment, like no matter how much I train, blah blah blah, any of my latent potential, all my years of training, everything, I want you to take all of that, sacrifice it, and put it into this body at this point, so I have the strength to kick fucking ass. It's a similar concept. Brunhilde and Goal is explained to this by Brunhilde, basically saying that as a swordsman, this is the one time it's going to happen, that he's become completely one with his demon child self, the personality that is the sword versus the sweet child sort of idea. Not that they were really at odds, but now he's recognized it. So even if he makes it through, he'll never be able to bear the same power again. And his physical body is well past human limits at this point. Hence tuberculosis, hence everything else that went on with him. But he's like, and Gol says, well, how's that possible? The Valkyrie sisters' ability, of course. Of course, that's always the way it works, right? So, what I like about this is that Skalmold's, if I'm reading that correctly, Skalmold's ability, I don't like the name of it, but it makes sense. It's taking the past, the present, and the future of a swordsman and combining all those lessons and all the latent potential and all the training, plus all the, the past experiences, meeting them into a singular point to be the pinnacle and the epitome of what it is to be swordsman. Like, Okita will never be stronger than this moment sort of idea, right? Forcibly drawing it out, collected in one point. A singular point, if you will. So, I really like that concept. They call it sword time. It's not the best name. I'm sure there's better translations and stuff. Sword time makes it sound kind of lame, but I like the idea. I like the concept. It's done in Hunter x Hunter and in Bleach and in other series as well. that your accumulated knowledge is all focused into this one attack, this one form, this one point, right? So this is the battle that Okita has been striving for. He's now able to go all out on his swordsmanship, and he even takes it a step further. So he goes against Susanoo here in this form, and he's attacking in these forms, like Demon Claw thrusts and stuff like that, right? But then he just moves on to the next attack. Susanoo tries to counter. No, here to you, Flying Dragon. And it's like, wait, what? And then he just keeps going. Like, Okita's not calm about this. He's not dominating, but he's still moving with the god. He's moving with Susanoo. And then he moves into Slanting Dragon, Tiger's Tail, all these moves. And Susanoo can't even keep up. He goes, this barrage of attacks, these one-hit kills. It's not simply that he's fast. It's that whether I dodge or block, no matter what I do in the next instance, his sword is at my neck. His sword is at my throat. He's counterattacking while pushing me. He's willing to kill me, and we get this gorgeous double-page spread, sort of unfortunately ruined by all the text, in all honesty. I mean, of course they have to show it, but I would love to see this totally cleaned of the kanji and the English. It would be so cool to see, because it's just this barrage of attacks. Mountain Shade, Cresting Wave, Dragon Tail, Cloudless Sky, Wheel, all these things. Haze, Moonlit Waves, all these abilities coming at him at once, which are apparently, according to Kondo, are all one-hit kills. These moves, each one of these moves can kill an opponent. And this is a sequence of attacks. These are finishing blows all tied together. And it's like, that's not what they're meant for. They're not meant to be tied together in a sequence. They don't start... There's not a start and an end, like there's just an end. You use this attack and then it's over. There isn't another step, another foot, another form to go into. Okita has mastered this, and he has, Soji has figured this out completely, and he's going forth using this sequence of one-hit kill shots in sequence, one after the other, and never stopping his torrent of attacks. And Heimdall's going crazy about this. Hermes and Zeus are both incredibly impressed. He's pushed past the limits of what humanity can do. And as I said, Kondo is recognized, the Shinsengumi and stuff like that. Each attack in the Tennen technique is a killing, in Tennen, is a killing blow in and of itself. In other words, every technique of Tennen, Rishen, should be capable of finishing off your enemy. To combine them into a continuous onslaught, it should be impossible for the body to be able to move that way while still creating the technique. The technique requires so much focus, the right muscle movements, all these small tweaks that make it perfect. But Okita Soji managed to do it. And then we see this one, the gardener's son, the farmer's boy, whatever, he's holding the books, these blood-stained ink books that Okita had written right the year of his death, right before his death. He had, in his twilight years, he started writing it down, trying to figure out he didn't want to quit the sword. His body would no longer allow him. But his mind kept going towards the sword. And he wrote down all these things like, I know there's a hidden, I know I can combine, I can make this happen. I can make the ultimate technique, the technique that will be the secret to mastering all the techniques and putting them into a perfect flow, all into one, like a dance. And he tried and tried, and he continued to just ask for more ink, please, as he coughed up blood from his tuberculosis and all this stuff. But he realized, here's the order. And he tried numerous times. It was like, this into this, this into that. No, that's not physically possible. But he figured it out. He figured out the sequence of orders into the finishing blow moves that you can physically make happen. Whether you need to push human limits beyond themselves. But unfortunately, he was not able to fight and stuff entirely. Gone from reality. It's all he needed, and in the end, of course, he still passed away in reality. He was like 15, 16 when he died, as a historical figure. He was a teenager, but he was so strong, and it's just such a shame that this happened. What latent potential would he have had? And boom, at the end part of the chapter, this exceeds human logic. He flew as high as the heavens. We have this big hawk, behind him, showcasing him flying in the sky. And it is the Tennen Rishin style Enpei Rieten Black Kite's Heavenly Return. And I'm like, okay. Like, when people say the Record of Ragnarok fell off, chapters like this did not fall off. I'm just going to say that. I know I'm a couple months late to the story here, or more like 6 months late to this chapter, but I'm just going to tell you, this chapter has everything you want in it. It's got backstory that makes you passionate about it and understanding that it's relevant to the current fight. He never got the chance to grow his body into the form, like into his late 20s to perfect this, or even into his late, into his senior years to finally perfect and pass this down, this OG of the Tenen style. He had figured out a method to be able to combine all these killing blow techniques into a sequence of techniques. Were one to be blocked, they would never survive the second, the third, the fourth. It's a constant barrage. Black Kite's Heavenly Return. It's done beautifully, it's done poetically, and it's done visually represented incredibly well with great choreography. So, Chapter 93 to me was just really fantastic for a lot of reasons. As I said, the backstory tying into it didn't waste us a whole lot of time with stuff that wasn't really relevant. We already knew Okita and everything from previous chapters and stuff like that, but this to me worked. It worked incredibly well. I was just, it was just one of these chapters where you go, why don't I wait for the next chapter? You know what I mean? Like, when you read this chapter, I think a step back from the series sometimes does help, because I haven't read the series in a while, as you guys know, because I would have been reviewing it. But I haven't personally been reading the series in a while. I haven't read the last 6 or 7 chapters or whatever we're up to here, trying to just see it. And I'll be honest with you, this chapter made me wonder why the hell I wasn't keeping up with it, and the moment the chapter dropped, why I wasn't like, let's go. So I think sometimes it is good if you're not feeling a series, or if things are not going the way you think, or the quality's dropping or whatever, take a step back for a few months, because it's doing wonders for me. It's really doing wonders for me personally. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, I've been out of it for the majority here of 2025 for this year. But right up until the end of last year, I was into it and stuff, but I was like, I'm just reading it for the sake of reading it. But now I'm like, my God, I got so much to catch up on, and now I'm excited. I'm excited to read the next chapter and review it for you guys. So, let me know what you thought down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I know we're about, 10 chapters behind at this point. However, I'm going to bring each one to you, because each one deserves its own respect and its individual review, in my opinion. Plus, I'm a completionist. It is what it is. And I've found myself enough time and motivation to follow this schedule. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you back here next time. Sorry that we're not caught up, but we will be. Give me some time, and we'll be right caught up, and we will probably go back to streaming as the chapters come out once we get caught up officially. I think we're at chapter 102 or 103 at the time of this recording. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be caught up by then, and then we'll be able to start streaming again. Because those will only be, an hour-long stream. I can definitely manage those. So, anyways, stay tuned for more. We'll see you back here next time. Once again, apologies for being so late to the party.